Hello students, welcome to SS classes. Today we are going to discuss the most important and most interesting topic of the chapter life processes, that is photosynthetic experiment. So children, in this experiment we are going to learn what are the conditions that are necessary for the photosynthesis. In previous lecture we discussed that the carbon dioxide and water are the raw materials required for photosynthesis. So here are the experiment by which one can prove that in absence of this raw material there is no possibility for photosynthesis, and hence starch will not be there in absence of this raw material. So children, our first experiment is to show that the sunlight is the condition necessary for photosynthesis. Sunlight is not raw material for photosynthesis. For photosynthesis, carbon dioxide and water are these two raw materials. But the sunlight is the condition required for photosynthesis. So by this experiment you will come to know that how sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis, and in absence of sunlight there will be no starch formed in the plant body. So let us start the experiment, children. So for this experiment, first of all you require one healthy potted plant. Once you take the healthy potted plant, keep this healthy potted plant in a dark room for 4 to 5 days. So children, during this 4 to 5 days, what will happen? The plant become de-starch. Now children, the meaning of de-starch means, D means absence and starch is nothing but the carbohydrate. So children, de-starch means what? Within this 4 to 5 days, as we keep the plant in a dark room, the plant will utilize all the starch present in that. Because as we have kept the plant in a dark room, so there is no sunlight, and hence within this 4 to 5 days, there will be no photosynthesis occur. So what plant will do? Plant will utilize whatever the starch present in that for its metabolic activities. And within this 4 to 5 days, the plant will completely become de-starch. And now after 4 to 5 days, there is no starch in any part of the plant body. Now once the plant becomes de-starch, we'll bring that plant into the sunlight and immediately we'll select its one healthy leaf and we'll cover its middle portion with the black paper. So let us assume that here is the leaf which is attached to the plant, and here we are selecting it and we are covering its middle portion like this. We are covering its middle portion with the black paper. Till now we have not plucked the leaf from the plant. It is there attached to the plant. Fine. So now once we'll do this step, we'll bring that plant to the sunlight and we'll allow that plant to perform photosynthesis approximately for 4 to 5 hours. Now children, within this 4 to 5 hours, what will happen? As the plant will come in a sunlight, plant will start preparing its own food by the process of photosynthesis, and hence the plant will have starch after the 4 to 5 hours. Now in the next step, children, we'll pluck that leaf whatever we have selected, and say for example it will look like this, where the healthy leaf is there and its middle portion was covered by the black paper. Now children, what we will do, once we'll pluck that leaf from the branch of the tree, now we'll remove that black paper and we'll boil that leaf in a water bath. Children, here you can see there is a water bath. Now water bath means what? There we have taken one beaker and that water is there, and that beaker we have kept on the tripod stand. Here wire gauge is there, and on the wire gauge over the tripod stand we have kept that beaker, and now here we are heating that water. Now what will happen once we heat this water? The water will start boiling and the leaf present in that water will automatically start boiling. So children, what is the importance of boiling in a water? Children, as we boil the leaf in a boiling water bath, this boiling will soften the leaves, and this boiling will also create holes on the cell wall of plant cell. So children, in this leaf, whatever the plant cells are there, on their cell wall, the holes are created due to this boiling, and later on we'll take out that leaf from the boiling water bath and we'll keep that leaf in a beaker containing alcohol. So children, here you can see boiling water bath is there, and in that one more beaker we have kept where alcohol is there. And now in the second step, we are boiling the leaf in a alcohol. Now this boiling should be indirect, children. Indirect means what? Here we are not directly boiling the alcohol. We are indirectly boiling the alcohol, as the alcohol containing beaker is kept into the water bath. Now why this indirect heating is required? Why one should not go for the direct heating over here? Because children, this alcohol is highly inflammable. If you put it on the burner flame directly, so it may catch fire and the whole alcohol may get burned. So we should not boil this alcohol directly on the flame. Rather, we should boil it indirectly into the boiling water bath. Now children, once the alcohol will start boiling, you will observe that the color of alcohol slowly changes from colorless to green. Now children, why this happens? Because in this alcohol, the chlorophyll get dissolved. Here, as we have boiled the leaf into the water, water is unable to remove the chlorophyll because chlorophyll not get dissolved in water. So it get dissolved in an organic solvent such as alcohol. So once we boil the leaf in an alcohol containing water bath, what will happen? The chlorophyll from the leaves come out into the alcohol. As we have discussed here, the water boiling creates holes on the cell wall of plant cell. So from that holes only, the alcohol enters into the leaf and take out the chlorophyll from those holes. And hence, the color of alcohol gradually changes from colorless to green because the chlorophyll is getting removed out from the leaf into the alcohol. And second observation that you will see, children, in this alcohol boiling is the color of leaf changes from green to colorless because the chlorophyll is getting removed out from the leaf, and gradually, children, the leaf becomes colorless, or we get the decolorized leaf. The leaf becomes decolorized. Now children, we'll take out that leaf, we'll just wash it thoroughly into the distilled water, and now we will take that leaf into the petri dish. Petri dish is nothing but the glass dish where we can do some activities. So children, once we take the leaf into the petri dish, glass petri dish, we are adding few drop of iodine solution over it. So here you can see the dropper containing iodine solution is there, and this iodine solution now we are releasing it drop by drop on the decolorized leaf. Children, decolorized leaf means what? Decolorized. D means absence and color means, of course, it's color only. So if we are talking about the decolorized leaf, children, it means that leaf appear creamish whitish because the chlorophyll has been removed out from that by the alcohol. Now children, here once we add few drop of iodine over the decolorized leaf, you can observe that the portion which were exposed to the sunlight, the portion of the leaf which were exposed to the sunlight, that portions changes into blue color on application of iodine solution. So this two portion which were exposed to the sunlight will turn into bluish blackish on application of iodine, children. Children, why this happens? Because these two parts which were exposed to the sunlight will have performed the photosynthesis and have starch in that. So as these two portion have performed the photosynthesis and these two portion have starch in that, and children, the iodine color changes from brown to bluish black in presence of starch. So this portion has starch in that, and hence on application of iodine, the color of iodine changes into brown to bluish blackish, and hence this two portion will appear bluish blackish after application of iodine test. And children, you will observe that this middle portion which was covered by the black paper and hence ultimately which was not exposed to the sunlight, that portion will remain decolorized. That portion will remain decolorized. ये आपको whitish और creamish ही दिखेगा, children, because this part was not exposed to the sunlight and hence were not performed the photosynthesis, and hence this middle portion did not have starch in that, and hence in absence of starch there will be no change in the color of the iodine solution. So that portion you will observe that it remains decolorized. Now children, what this activity shows, the sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis because the portion which were exposed to the sunlight will only have starch in that, and starch is nothing but the end product of photosynthesis, children. So this experiment shows that the sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. Now children, our second experiment is to show that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. Yes, of course, in absence of chlorophyll, there will be no photosynthesis because the chlorophyll is the factor which absorbs the solar energy and hence in the preparation of the glucose and ultimately the preparation of starch. So children, we cannot imagine the photosynthesis in plant in absence of chlorophyll. Now this we can check with the experiment. Yes, so children, here is an experiment which shows that the chlorophyll necessary for photosynthesis. Now children, in order to show the chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis, you require a variegated leaf, children. Now children, what is variegated leaf? Here you can see this is an example of variegated leaf. Now children, this variegated leaf is partially green and partially white. Here you can see children, this outer portion of this variegated leaf is white and this middle portion of the variegated leaf is green due to presence of chlorophyll in that. So children, is there any example of variegated leaf which you know? Yes, of course, it is the money plant leaf. The money plant leaf is a variegated kind of leaf. Its portion is somehow greenish and whitish. Its few part of this it appears the greenish and remaining part of this leaf appear whitish. So money plant leaf you can imagine for the variegated leaf. So children, what we have to do in this experiment, the first step is same as we have shown in the experiment. Sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. So for that children, you have to select one potted plant which bears the variegated leaf. You have to select that plant which should bear a variegated leaf. You should bear the variegated leaf, children. Now, this variegated leaf bearing plant, children, you have to keep in a dark room again for 4 to 5 days. Now children, what will happen within this 4 to 5 days? Again the plant will become de-starched. So why plant become de-starched? You know very well right now children, because in this dark room plant is unable to perform the photosynthesis and hence the plant utilize whatever the starch is present in that. So the variegated leaf bearing plant, as you have kept in the dark room, it will utilize whatever the starch present in it, and after 4 to 5 days it will completely become the de-starched, children. Now you have to bring that de-starched plant which bears the variegated leaf into the sunlight, and in this experiment no need to cover its any portion with any of the black paper, because already the portion of the leaf which is white, which do not have chlorophyll in that, will not perform photosynthesis, and wherever the green part is there, it means that have the chlorophyll in that will perform the photosynthesis. So anyway we are going to observe it that chlorophyll necessary for photosynthesis will have starch in that. So for this no need to cover its portion, because already some of the portion have chlorophyll and others do not have. So children, when you will bring that plant to the sunlight for 4 to 5 hours, within this 4 to 5 hours plant will perform photosynthesis. And after 4 to 5 hours, we'll pluck its leaf. It's one of the leaf, you can pluck it and boil it in a water bath. As we have discussed here in the previous experiment, in this way only, you have to boil that variegated leaf in a boiling water bath. Then you have to boil that leaf again into the alcohol containing water bath. So that will remove out the chlorophyll from the leaf, and hence alcohol changes into green color and the leaf changes into creamish white. It means decolorized leaf. Now again we'll do the same experiment. We will add iodine solution on that alcohol boiled variegated leaf. Now children, once you boil this leaf, what will happen? What observation will you have? So here you can see children, this is the variegated leaf after the alcohol boiling, and no, you cannot imagine this leaf actually after the alcohol boiling, because alcohol boiling removes the chlorophyll. Fine. So this is before the alcohol boiling, and here is the leaf after the alcohol boiling. So alcohol will remove out all chlorophyll from that, and hence here you can imagine how this variegated leaf will appear. Fine. So after alcohol boiling, the leaf will become completely decolorized, and now we are going to add few drop of iodine over that. So children, when you add iodine solution on the decolorized leaf, what you will observe children? You will observe that the middle portion of the leaf turns bluish blackish, because the middle portion will have only chlorophyll in that, and that part only have performed the photosynthesis, and hence only the middle portion where the chlorophyll was there, only that part will have starch in it children right now. And in presence of the starch, the iodine solution changes from brown to bluish blackish. Here you can see. तो बच्चों इससे क्या प्रूव हुआ कि जितने पोर्शन में क्लोरोफिल था उतने ही पोर्शन में क्या हुआ? Photosynthesis, and only that portion contained the starch, while the outer portion where the chlorophyll was not there will remain decolorized. It shows that how the chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. Photosynthesis takes place only in presence of chlorophyll. Well, the portion which do not have the chlorophyll in that portion will remain decolorized. You can easily observe in this experiment, children. And children, now you have the third experiment, and this third experiment is to prove that carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. Now how one can prove it? For this children, we have to create carbon dioxide deficient environment. Carbon dioxide deficient environment means the environment which do not have carbon dioxide in that. And children, how one can create it? So here is the experiment. For this you require children 2 potted plant, 2 healthy potted plant you require for this experiment. Now here we have taken 2 healthy potted plant, and we have covered this both the potted plant with a glass jar. You can make this jar airtight by applying petroleum jelly. Petroleum jelly is nothing but the Vaseline. So if you apply the Vaseline from all the sides of this glass jar from its bottom, so this glass jar can become airtight. And now children, before making it airtight, in one of the glass jar we have kept one dish containing potassium hydroxide solution. Potassium hydroxide solution means what children? It is one of the strong base. We know that is KOH solution we are going to put in this dish. Now children, what will happen? As we have kept the dish containing potassium hydroxide in one of the jar, so whatever the carbon dioxide present in this jar, whatever the CO2 is present in this jar, get absorbed into the potassium hydroxide, because this potassium hydroxide solution absorbs the carbon dioxide present in the surrounding. Now children, here in this jar, what are the conditions required for photosynthesis? Have water is there in the pot itself, but the second raw material, that is the carbon dioxide, is not there in this plant, is not there. And children, before performing this experiment, again we are going to perform the same step that we have performed for the previous experiment. That first we have to keep this both the potted plant into the dark room. So within this dark room the plant will become de-starched, and then we are going to perform this whatever the step we have talked about right now. So children, first we have to keep these 2 potted plant in the dark room, so then plant will totally become de-starched. And now we are bringing this plant to the sunlight, and then we are covering them with the glass jar. And one of the jar we have kept KOH, so that jar does not have the carbon dioxide in that. So that plant will have the carbon dioxide deficient environment. यहाँ पे carbon dioxide नहीं है student because it got absorbed by the potassium hydroxide solution kept in the dish. Now children, look at this second plant where all conditions required for photosynthesis this plant have, that is the chlorophyll is there in the leaves, water is there in the pot. Again, what is required? Carbon dioxide. Yes, it is there in the jar, and this jar also we have made the airtight, so CO2 is there in the jar and light is coming from the glass jar. So whatever the conditions required for photosynthesis, this B plant have. But A plant do not have one condition, that is the carbon dioxide. Now children, we are keeping this plant in the light for 4 to 5 hours. So within that the plant will perform photosynthesis. Of course A will not perform, but B can perform. Now after 4 to 5 hours, what we have to do? We have to take the leaf from each plant and we are going to tag it. That is the leaf A we are going to tag. How one can tag? You can just apply. You can just pack one paper strip. Over that we have written the A, and that we are going to attach with the Tisco paper on the pedicel of the leaf. That is the stalk of the leaf. In this way you can do it. So second, that we are going to tag that is the leaf from plant B. So once the tagging is done, we are allowing this plant leaf to boil in a water bath as we have done for the previous experiment. And next step, both the leaf that we are going to boil in a alcohol. So both the leaves will become decolorized like this. So both the leaves right now, how they are decolorized one. And later on, what is our next step? That is iodine test. So on both the leaf we are going to apply iodine solution. Children, what are your expected result? Only the leaf from plant B will turn bluish blackish, while the leaf from plant A will remain decolorized because there is no presence of the starch. As we have kept in the dark room for 4 to 5 days, so during that plant is become destarched, and now here we are bringing into the sunlight, but here what we have kept? Potassium hydroxide solution, which will absorb all CO2 present in the jar. And in absence of CO2, plant cannot perform photosynthesis because the carbon dioxide is the raw material required for photosynthesis, children. So the leaf from the plant A will remain decolorized and the leaf from plant B will turn bluish blackish on application of iodine solution. So children, what this experiment shows? This experiment shows that carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis. So children, today we discuss about the 3 experiments, that is how sunlight, carbon dioxide and chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis. In my next lecture, we'll discuss about the breathing respiration topic. Apart from that, we'll discuss about the respiratory system in human, and then we'll start with the topic, that is transportation in human. So this is about my today's lecture, children. If you like my video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.